Today, Precarious plays
Phantom Brave. Well, it only took 23 hours and 50 minutes, but I've done it. I've got them exactly within range. Worth it.
Oh my gosh, I hate mimics. Do you know what has made me hate mimics the most?
I'd guess Hollow Knight, but I know it's not the case. It should be. If you didn't hate them before, Hollow Knight will make you hate mimics.
The reason, the iteration of the idea of mimics that made me hate mimics the most was the Dark Souls.
That one? I think that's the noise they make when they die.
No, I cannot tell you what they sound like because what they look like strikes so much terror in me that I can't, I go deaf. And they're so sudden and they're so gangly and weird.
The problem that I have with mimics in Dark Souls is, they're kind of... I can't say core to the experience. They are in a series that overall I would say has some pretty strong interpretations of classic fantasy monsters. The mimics are especially recognizable. I think that they're particularly good. Well, good is relative, you know.
Yeah, well executed.
Am I going crazy? No, okay, she's over there. She's already in the field. Yeah, especially well executed. The mimic is... Oh, there's that word again. I can't get it out of my head to think of what I actually want to say about them. And I don't want to just say, they're a successful design. They creep you out, and that's what they're supposed to do. Woo-hoo-hoo. Regardless of the success of the mimic, I do think that they have a detrimental impact on the pace of the game.
Yeah.
Especially in, I think it's in Dark Souls 2, where if you hit a chest enough, like a regular chest, enough times, or maybe just hard enough, it is scary to contemplate, so I mostly try to approach it very carefully, right? In Dark Souls 2, you can break boxes and ruin the contents.
Oh.
I think it just replaces what was supposed to be in there with rubbish that you pick up off the ground. Yeah, not cool. The combination of those two things is not kind.
So you want to tap every chest that you come across, but you can't because you might bust it.
Well, no, you can, but it might mean, I think that it's sort of like... So, because once you understand that mimics exist, if you are not already sure for whatever reason, maybe because you've played it before, maybe because you're following a walkthrough or something, if you're not sure where the mimics live, you have to go through this little song and dance with every new chest, right?
Yeah.
And if you have a heavy weapon equipped, if you have one of the ultra great swords, you have to stop and think okay, what's the input for just kicking? Do I have a kick? I think it's just forward and R1, I think, is kick. But you know what? No, I'll just, like, I've got an empty hand. I'll just get an empty hand and then I'll punch it. But then you wind up with a scenario where you've sort of, like, wasted the opening gambit.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you punch the box, if it turns out to be a mimic, that's a swing. That's a wake-up swing that you could have devoted to that ultra greatsword and really just walloped it.
Yeah.
This isn't Disgaea 5.
No.
Did you dupe me? I'm out of time again?
No. You still have about half an episode.
Well, you know what? I'm pretty sure that we just reached the top, so another time. What do you have to say for yourselves?
Ash, is Sulfur behind all this?
And Ash gets really real and he's like, no, it's just a medical industrial complex, Morona. Ugh, disgusting, I know.
It's worse.
Insurance companies, you know? And Morona's like, no, I don't have insurance, Ash.
Oh God, you're gonna die.
Most likely.
Don't
I hate
get
to say
sick.
this, but it looks like Sulfur's return is inevitable.
Oh. Ash? Did Sulfur have something to do with my parents and your death?
Uh,
I can tell from the way you've been acting, you get quiet whenever someone mentions Sulfur.
I'm sorry, Morona. I never wanted you to find out. I just couldn't bear the thought of seeing you burdened by revenge.
I don't think that would make Mom and Dad happy either. I don't want revenge, but Ash, if Sulfur is going to make the people of Ivoire suffer, all the people we've met, I'm going to fight back.
Morona!
Ash felt ashamed. While he hated Sulfur and hoped to exact revenge, Morona was able to look past the deaths of her parents. She even forgave those who mocked her and desired to help them.
You're right. Once Sulfur returns, people will suffer. Our whole world is in danger. This isn't the time to be worried about petty revenge. Thank you, Morona.
Huh? Why are you thanking me?
I almost chose Sprout's path.
look, more monsters.
With revenge behind me, I will fight for the people I love. You'll go no further. For her sake, I will not fail.
What? Hey. Somebody's in there.
It's really difficult to target, though.
Just
There it
put
is.
somebody. Put somebody in the box on top of it.
I don't think, I'm pretty sure that it's bouncing. So, he's got a grip on that one. That's interesting.
What?
All of the confinable objects are over there. So I think what they expect you to do is have Morona run. There are a lot of them. Can I beat 2 of them? Oh? Let me do a quick one of these.
Couple. What
Oh.
scary miasma popped out of there?
It's a delightful fragrance. That's why this one is asleep. Don't do it. I know what you were gonna do. You stop it.
Was he gonna take your pot?
He was gonna take my pot. He was gonna try. I know. I know. I've seen things in my adventures. Get over there. I'm leaving. Disgaea 5. I have already begun to forget Disgaea 5.
Mm. It's not a particularly good thing.
Well, especially compared to Disgaea D2.
Yeah.
I still remember specific maps and scenarios. And the main scenario, like the main story, I remember parts of it much more clearly than what I just did like 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
in Disgaea 5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe that's saying enough. It's I think that the game suffers a lot from my perspective, feeling like I've seen all of these characters before done better earlier in the series.
Mm.
So, for example, Seraphina feels like it feels like what they did is they took various traits of earlier protagonists, wrote them down on slips of paper, and then just pulled them out of a hat by the handful to figure these guys out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Seraphina has sort of like the sexy lady with guns design of Rosalind,
Yeah.
but with the I would say the overbearing personality of Etna, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it sort of falls flat a lot with Seraphina because I think I've said this before, but Etna is funny because a lot of her confidence is based on a physique she doesn't have. She just wants, right?
Yeah.
Or like she imagines herself to be like one of the succubus or Nekomata demons.
Mm-hmm. But she's decidedly not and just has that attitude.
Right. She just has that attitude anyway. I mean, like, I would say that that's probably my favorite thing about her in Disgaea 5, is her sexy beam, which is the best version of sexy beam that I've ever seen in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, having it cut to a series of HD sprites of Etna striking various sexy poses, and then bombarding the field with a heart-shaped laser is chef kiss. Very good. It's a great intersection of gameplay and mechanics. Or narrative and mechanics. Yeah. But it's with Seraphina, it's sort of like, I'm a sexy demon temptress. Yes, you are. It's codified in the game. Your special power, your overload, is literally hijacking the minds of all the enemy dudes around you. And I mean, it's just,
There's no flaw that makes it interesting.
well, not even that. It's just that because there are like 6 main characters, they don't have time to, like, Etna has a brother. Etna has complicated feelings that seem to be somewhere between like romantic and familial with Laharl's dad. she has a history. Serafina has a one chapter turnaround where she goes from being like a little suspicious over the course of the game, where if you're paying attention at all, you realize like, oh, her thing is that her netherworld that's supposed to be rich has run out of money for some reason. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's what happens. Her dad spent, spoilers for Disgaea 5, I guess. It's fucking, you probably shouldn't care, but in case you do. Yeah, her dad spent all of their money building a super fortress to deter the game's primary antagonist. Ash is king of Boxfort.
He is.
Do I still have time? No? Why? God, I'm never gonna finish talking about Disgaea 5, and I'm not gonna play it on the show. I don't know if I'll ever play it again. Well, I might play it again.
You might play it again.
It's just I was getting pretty attached to Blonde and Cicely's ability to stomp entire maps. That was
nice.
fun, I guess. Just they're both so excitable.